Hey guys, Jonas here, the founder of Edge Alerter. So a couple of weeks ago, we released a report into the tipping industry in Australia, and we uncovered some interesting things. And since this report, we've had quite a lot of inquiries as to the details of it. And so I just wanted to record a quick webinar just to go through some of the key points in it, and also expand on a few items as well. So what did we do? We looked at the whole industry in Australia here over a few months and sort of dug in and tried to find out what the offerings are like out there. And we found that there are about 100 tipping providers out there in Australia. Around 800,000 Aussies are following these services. 20% of the services out there claim to be Australia's best. 10%, only 10% I should say, are providing an actual track record of their performance. Now, I come from a professional trading background myself, so in that game, track record's everything. So for there to be only 10% actually providing a track record is not ideal. But this is a real issue here. So around 35% of the providers out there are actually affiliates, and what affiliates in the general business world is essentially just referrers. So they're referrers of business. And in the gambling industry, an affiliate, you'll often see them send you a link of like, hey, join Sportsbet through this link, and you click on that. Well, if you sign up through that link, that affiliate link, the referrer will get trailing losses on your account. So if you end up losing 10 grand, for instance, over the next 5 years, that referrer, that affiliate, will get paid at around 3 to 3.5 grand for that, which is a spectacular conflict of interest, to say the least. Of the affiliates out there, more than half don't actually disclose that they're affiliates, which is very deceptive. So what's this mean for the members of these services? You got around 250,000 people following tipping providers that are actually affiliates, and they show no track record. So that's a complete stitch up, quite frankly. Around 50,000 are following those that are affiliates with a track record, and 200,000 are following tipping providers that aren't affiliates, but they also do not provide a track record. So you really have to question the validity of them. So what's that mean in the end? You've got about 500,000 Aussies following tipping services that are really substandard. So to summarize kind of the core issues, so I mentioned affiliate tipsters. So I've got no problem myself with affiliates. However, I do have an issue with affiliate tipsters, because ultimately, as an affiliate, you're financially incentivized to refer losing punters. As a tipster, you should be incentivized to actually send out winning bets, winning tips. So these two, they just don't go hand in hand, do they? It's a spectacular conflict of interest. Then the second issue is track record. So only 10% out there are providing a track record. Again, I've come from a professional trading background where track record is everything, and for only 10% to be providing a track record is pretty poor. The third point here is, and this is something that members message me about fairly frequently. So they will have had an experience where they signed up to a tipping service, often paid, and after a few weeks, it just closes down. It just disappears after they've signed up for 6 months of membership. So what these providers do is they literally they have a couple of bad weeks and they go, oh, this didn't really work out. Let's just close up shop, close Facebook, our Facebook page down, Telegram down, website down, everything's done. Let it settle for a few weeks, then they'll just open up under a new brand. Pretty disgusting, and it's happening, I'd say, on a fortnightly basis from what I can gather. Then the fourth issue out there is this assumption of top price. So you'll often see this with a lot of the top brand name tipping services, if you like, with some former bookies, etc., running them. And the key assumption that they make is top price, and they'll often have this in their results. Mentioned it in the sub notes there of like, hey, look, these figures assume top price. The problem there is most people can't get top price. They'll be tipping $9, and literally the first 3 or 4 of a 500 membership tipping service will get that price, and then it's into $7, and then not too long after that it's into $5.50, and it's gone. So it's something to be aware of, this assumption of top price with regards to performance. Now, from your side, from a member's side, what are the the key questions that you need to ask yourself / ask the providers? Firstly, do you have a track record? If so, prove it. And secondly, are you an affiliate with any of the bookies? And again, a lot of them are. So these are kind of the two key questions to ask. So I've talked about, I was in a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I talked about how a lot of the principles in the betting world are very applicable to the wider world, as especially in the investment world. Well, the traps are actually very similar as well. And there are a couple of here that I just wanted to touch on really quickly. So Forex trading is really common out there, and if you Google trading, for Forex trading or derivatives trading on Google, you'll be absolutely just bombarded with a lot of these platforms that want to get you on board. And the reason for that is 99.9% will end up losing money, a lot of money for many, to them, because it's really hard. So these FX trading tipsters out there who may propose to have edge, again, it's really the same questions. Do they actually have genuine edge, i.e. show us your track record? And the second question, are there any conflicts? Well, in fact, if the conflicts are exactly the same, a lot of them do have the trailing losses referral model again as their core business. So just really proceed with caution here and ask those key questions if you're not sure of them. Crypto has become a big thing over the last few years. Obviously, I've been heavily involved in it myself, and really the same questions apply if you've got someone who's proposing some sort of a crypto investment or trading strategy. Then you need to ask the question: is there edge after fees? Are there conflicts? But in crypto, there's this additional one. There's a significant tail risk. So if you've put down a lot of crypto down onto a platform, then you need to price in a 5%, perhaps a 5% chance that that's going to get hacked, or it's going to get lost, or there's going to be. So there's often more tail risk in the crypto world. So that's just something to be aware of. Personally, I'm not here to give any financial advice, and I don't do that. I think having some crypto exposure might make sense, a small percentage of your net worth, but it's just good to be aware of, again, if you're following someone who proposes that they've got edge, ask for the track record, ask the question of conflicts of interest, and just be aware of tail risk, because it's even greater in crypto. Then in the general investment world, well, yeah, we've all heard stories of someone who's tipped a stock or tipped an FX trade or whatever it might be. Often you're basing that off a very low sample size. So they might have had a couple of winners that they've told you about, but if you look back further, they've had a bunch of losers. So you just need to be aware of, need to be asking some key questions, because it is key. It is easy to get roped into the blue sky that a lot of these providers out there will sell you. So the three quick key questions, I think, as far as what it comes down to here: edge, is it genuine? Is it statistically significant? And what that means is it over a large enough sample size that you can start deducing whether it's due to luck versus actual genuine alpha? Conflicts, yep, they're everywhere, and a lot of the time they're not disclosed. So really be aware of the fact that conflicts are out there, and they can really, these conflicts are core business to a lot of these providers. So something to be aware of. And tail risk, as I mentioned, in the betting world, you put down $100, you can only really lose that 100 on a bet. In other worlds, you might, if you've put down some funds, whether it's fiat or crypto, into a wallet, there's a chance that something goes wrong there. So you're risking a lot more than what you actually might invest. So just be aware of potentially the tail risks that are out there. So that's really, those are the key points that I want to go through in this video. Now, if you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you'll get notified when we release new videos. So feel free to do that. If you have any questions, the best way to get me is on Telegram, and that's my handle on there. And the last thing I'd say is members get access to not only these free videos, but also some premium member videos as well if you join. Thanks, guys. Bye.